Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Business Party Podcast on this wonderful Hump Day Wednesday on the way to the
Wednesday.
apocalypse. Yes. How's everybody doing?
Hi guys, I'm glad to be back.
Hi. What's up, Jennifer?
Hi Jennifer.
Hey,
Oh
hey.
I should tell Amanda to bring her down, but she'll bring her down. She'll bring it down.
Oh, so my 2-year-old, I got to see her today. He's like, baby, baby, baby. And then he'd go, oh, so cute.
Go, shh, sleep, sleep, shh, sleep.
Mhm.
It was so cute, but yeah, it was cute. But he did it like after she left, like it was like a delayed
know.
reaction. Like she was gone for like 10 minutes, and then he was just like, shh, sleep, baby,
Yeah.
baby, sleep.
Well, see, he had to have his tantrum first because, like, we were on a Discord call and he was just like yelling. He's like, open shop, open shop. Like, I don't know what you need from me. Open shop. I don't know. And then he comes over. He's like, bye bye. You missed it.
Yeah, the big news.
But he
is
saw a
baby-
little picture of her.
Yeah, then I put up a couple of little videos. But yes, the big news is the baby is here.
What's up?
The baby is here. Let me see if I can get her to bring her down while everybody's in here real quick, because
Yep.
I know she's cooking, but every chance to show off the baby is a good chance. But yeah, so the baby's here. We have not slept really. What up, pretty antisocial?
What's up?
Listen, they're famous.
You know who it is because the other half of
I
it.
know.
Yeah. Hi, Haley.
Hi, yeah. I was just trying to promote you, Mama J. Jesus. By the way,
Here.
by the way, all of a sudden I like how she's like, listen, guys, it's pretty weird. I was in a news article. I'm no longer Mama J. I'm Jackie. Thank you very much.
Oh, I forgot to change it when I came in. I did. I actually just realized it when you said Mama J, and then I looked down and I was like, shit.
It's Jackie, guys. Listen, I'm not no longer.
It's Jackie. It's Jackie outside of these doors. Your Mama J and this motherfucker. I'll tell you that.
I know.
Oh man, but yeah, the baby was born on Friday.
The hair is back.
The baby was born on Friday morning at 7:51. We were released from the hospital, dude. That those hospital beds, and like the whole thing about the hospitals is not comfortable at all. They're not comfortable at all.
No,
like nothing
hell
in
no.
there. Like they had a rocking chair, which was great, but like I was like, hey, does this thing like fold out? And they're like, nope. I'm like, I can't put my feet up. Nope. So I literally had to put my feet up on the bed while Amanda was laying there with the baby.
Also won the bet and the birthday. Time to pay up.
Aunt Haley, yes. Aunt Haley won. But yeah.
I was way off.
Well, I mean, I kind of knew when she was coming. Like, it was not a surprise. They're like, hey, do you want to do it on Friday or Tuesday? I'm like, Friday. Let's get this done ASAP.
Yeah.
And yeah, she came out 5 pounds 5 ounces, 17.5 inches long, and they were like,
That's
they
a small baby.
Yeah, they kind of looked at us like, she's kind of small and underweight. And then they're like, okay, like, and then all her tests came back. Everything was great. Like she wasn't jaundiced. She wasn't. Her glucose was great. Like she fit in the baby stroller. Yo. Like everything like worked out. So like they let us go on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, and it was just nice to be home. And it was like, hey, here you go. Now here's a baby. Enjoy.
Right. Like time to have no sleep in a little while.
Can you bring her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, man, poor Amanda's. She just brought me food. She's a zombie right now.
Don't make her do it.
Listen, I feel bad, but so there was an agreement made. You take care of the baby because she like gets mad, like not mad, but like possessive. you know, this little thing just came out of her, so she gets possessive. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm like,
Yes.
I'll do everything else. Like I will go to the store, I'll get whatever you want. I'll take the diapers, I'll throw it out. I'll do everything. Just you know, make sure like she's fed and everything like that, and you know, and just change her because I feel like I'm gonna break her. Like that head is just, and she does like she stretches out like all the time. That's all she does. She's like, okay, all right, well, yeah, she did that inside of Amanda too. So
Aw.
There we go. Oh.
So
ladies and gentlemen,
precious.
the business party baby.
We made it all together.
Yeah.
All 4 of us.
Mama J said we made it together, all 4 of us.
She's like, then you
She's
better be
so
babysitting
pretty.
motherfuckers.
I know, right? She's so beautiful.
She loves her hands by her face. Look at that double chin.
She looks so peaceful.
Mm.
Yeah. She's just chilling.
Aw.
She's already given the a certain salute with her one hand.
That's hilarious.
And she's pondering.
Aw.
Right now she's pondering, why am I here?
Mm-hmm.
What is life? Look at her with her hand just right across her stomach with her. I can't.
Oh. He's got dark hair too.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she is tiny. She is tiny.
She is tiny.
She lost 4 ounces. So she's 5 pounds 1 ounce right now. But she's everything she's in, and I'm yelling right now, and this baby is asleep. I'm doing it on purpose. I'm being loud as fuck, as loud as I can, so that way, no matter what, she just sleeps.
Good.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I used to when my babies were sleeping, I'd always run the vacuum so they would get used to the noise.
There you
Like
go. Up close and personal.
There's the baby.
Oh,
You want to say something? Listen, I really think excuse you. I really think the baby's first word is gonna be "fuck." I'm not gonna lie.
Aw.
And the cat
might be.
and the big cat is fucking jealous so badly. Like I was holding her, right?
Oh.
I was holding her, and the big cat jumped into Amanda's arms and wanted to be held exactly like the baby was being held. I was
That's
feeding the
funny.
baby like this, and the cat jumped in her arms and was like
my turn.
And just so everyone knows, this is the whole show. We're just watching the baby.
Yeah, that's gonna be
2
it.
hours.
She's
Just watching the baby.
She's just gonna sleep. She's just gonna be like, and hiccup. The baby hiccups a lot. She really does. What do you give me the face for? All right.
So cute.
But yes, baby troublemaker has finally made its way to the world. Dude, listen, don't have kids at an older age. It sucks.
Oh yeah.
I was like, it was funny because I was talking to Madison, and she's like, and she had the realization. She's like, yeah, she'll graduate. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna graduate high school and then I can retire. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna graduate. Yeah, when you retire and the baby's 18, I'll be 40.
Simple baby.
Simple baby.
Oh, Jennifer. That's so funny.
I'm like, yeah, you're gonna be.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
go.
be
Troublemaker baby.
baby troublemaker. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so yeah, so I mean, now it's we're off for 2 months, which is nice, but
That's nice. Yeah.
but at the same time it's nice, but it's not a vacation for 2 months. You know what I mean? It's like half asleep, one eye open, just like I was awake the other day from 7 in the morning till 7 in the morning till 4 in the morning because like Amanda
That's why
was
you
like,
gotta sleep when the baby sleeps.
yeah, but you don't understand.
People
Like,
say that all the time. You're like, "But you don't understand. Like, that's my time to get shit done."
yeah,
Or like, I don't know, have me time.
but and not even that. Like, do you understand how I can't sleep for 2 hours? Like, I'm just like, if I sleep for 2 hours, I'm gonna be worse after like a 2 hour nap and just wake up. And then I don't understand people who can nap. I really don't.
I hate it.
I'm with you.
I can, but I feel like I lost like part of my life or something when I wake up from a nap. I don't feel right for like at least 3 hours afterward. It's like
Mhm.
I just can't do it very good.
Like,
Dude,
low key felt like you just died and, like, was,
Mhm.
like, revived back to life, and you're like,
I've been so
"Are my
tired.
souls missing?"
Like I feel like the static on TV is me right now. I'm like, "Ugh."
We're in the wrong spot. Yeah, I've taken naps and woken up and like I've gotten home, taken a nap, and woken up, and so it was 8 o'clock. And like during the winter, 8 o'clock in the morning is just as dark as 8 o'clock at night. And I've woken up and I thought I was late for work. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
shit. And then what time is it? 8 p.m. PM? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you stay up until 8 AM, and you're like, "I need to go back to sleep, but I have to go to work."
I used to have dreams that I've actually worked a full day, woke up, and had to work another full day.
Oh, fuck
I was
that.
just
Ugh,
like,
those are the worst.
this sucks. It sucks so much. But yeah,
Yep.
enough about that.
Let's
Let's
kick off the top story that is breaking news today. What's up, Lone Star? How you
put up
doing,
Lone
homie?
Star. Welcome in.
Uh, and I'm gonna kick off with the main Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The latest report that is coming out about the shooting that has happened in Winder, Georgia. This just came out a little bit ago. I believe that this is the latest update about it. So it should be up. I think it was a little low from what I was hearing earlier, but let's go ahead and go with this.
Of the events that have taken place here today and what we know up to this point with the investigation.
Oh, can you pause it real quick? I'm sorry.
10:30 a.m. this morning, Bear County.
Yeah, y'all are just gonna have to put up your volume because there's nothing else that he can do about it.
Yeah,
So,
it's the lowest that it's the highest that it'll go. But anything that isn't heard will relay because I've listened to it a couple times already.
County Sheriff's Office received alerts about reports of an active shooter and radio traffic from school resource officers concerning the same concern or having the same concern. Within minutes, law enforcement was on scene, as well as 2 school resource officers assigned here to the school who immediately encountered the subject within just minutes of this report going out. Once they encountered the subject immediately surrendered to these officers and he was taken into custody. Additionally, what I want you to know as of now, there are 4 individuals who are deceased from this incident, 9 that have been taken to local hospitals with various injuries. Of those that are deceased, 2 are students and 2 are teachers here at the school. The priority right now for us within this investigation is to gather all the facts, to make sure that we're accurate with it, because this is a murder investigation. As the sheriff mentioned earlier this morning, the shooter is in custody. His name is Colt, that's C-O-L-T Gray. He is a 14-year-old student here at the school, G-R-A-Y. He is a 14-year-old student here at the high school. Again, he has been taken into custody. He will be
Right.
charged with murder and he will be tried as an adult. And
All right, so that's the
dang.
latest update. So yeah, 2 or 4 have been killed, 2 students, 2 teachers, and they said 9 were injured. And yeah, it's a good point. Where like what's up with the parents and but that's gonna be later on down the road. I'm sure people will be looking into that.
Mhm. Well, and then I saw that there was a report that, it was either the school itself and law enforcement had been alerted that there would be schools that there was going to be a possible school shooting, and that school in particular was going to be the first one out of like 4 or 5 or something that they said.
Right. Yeah, I saw that
So
too. Which is crazy because it always seems like there just somehow seems to be something that they do know about or get told about, and then they don't do anything about that.
But once again, he
right,
was met by a resource officer, and once he was met by somebody with a gun, he gave up.
right,
You know, and
Mhm.
it was just like I don't. And I've seen reports that he was a loner, a quiet kid. Once again, loner, quiet kid, didn't say much. And I think
mhm,
Haley's right with her friend BX on Twitter. Like, once again, conspiracy. I think they find these kids, and I don't care what age, they find these kids and they talk them into something, and we don't know anything. Like I don't
Right. We're
it's
gonna have
it
to see. We're gonna
yeah,
see who he was hanging around with or who he was possibly in contact with. If any of that's gonna come out, like
but
I
it's the
doubt we'll
same
get the
MO.
same. Right. It is absolutely, but I doubt we'll get the same information that we got about Thomas Crooks and like the fact that he had like offshore encrypted accounts with people and was shooting at a range with Department of Homeland Security and like FBI, whatever. Like,
Yeah, I don't I
don't be suspicious, don't be
yeah,
suspicious.
the fact that it's a lone gunman, 14-year-old kid,
Yeah,
my non psychologist being a kid who was picked on a lot in school, he was probably picked on a lot. And he just was one of those just like, I'm fucking done. I'm done being picked on for certain things, and I'm just like, because it was two, like I said, it was 2 students, 2 faculty
teachers.
are
Yeah,
dead, 2 teachers are dead, 9 people injured, and he gave up. And he gave up.
yeah,
As soon as somebody pointed a gun
yeah,
at him, he gave up. Like, so it sounds like a kid who just had enough being picked on and was just like, I'm done. And yeah, where were the parents? What
right,
were the parents doing? What what involvement did the parents have in his life? Why weren't I mean, it's Georgia. There's a lot of hunting. We don't know we don't know what guns were used. Obviously, it wasn't an AR-15 apparently because
they would have said it.
they would have said it already.
oh yeah,
They would have said it was an AR-15
Yeah.
style rifle. They would have said, but then again, it is
Well,
Georgia, maybe just more hush
yeah, I
hush.
was gonna well, the way that that sheriff was talking, he's like, "Listen, it's a murder investigation, and they wanna get all the facts first."
right.
So I
Which is what
think
you
that it's
should
not
do.
you're not right, and I don't think that we'll get any more clear information until at least, like, later on tomorrow afternoon,
Right.
But
honestly. All it's gonna be is, like, speculation and stuff like that. Because did they say the kid's name or just his
yeah,
last
Yeah.
name?
no, they call
Colt,
it Colt.
Colt Gray.
Yeah, Colt Gray.
So, you know that people are gonna be sleuthing to try to find,
Anything they can.
like, yeah, social medias and different things like that.
Oh yeah. And there's
So,
already fake pictures of the supposed like I don't know
yeah.
who was putting them out there, but there was a bunch of fake pictures about it and everything else. But piggybacking onto this is exactly what we called
Once
was going to
again,
happen.
once a fucking again,
They
they
cannot
can't
just let it.
even fucking give it 5 minutes because I tuned into it. I guess it happened at 10:30, and I started seeing stuff about it, and I don't usually check that stuff until the more information's available. But then around like 2 o'clock, I started seeing I started checking out the lives and stuff like that about it. And what was it 10 to 2:30 my time? So 5 hours, it's 3:30 Eastern time.
Yeah.
5 hours. 5 fucking hours.
Oh yeah. This
And it
well,
was
I say it wasn't even whenever she gave it, it must
1:47
not.
Eastern.
Yeah, it must not even been 5 hours because it was
Nope.
10:30, 12:30, 1:30. It'd be like
3
3
hours.
fucking hours.
Yep.
And then they're already trying to go. But let's see what old Blinky has to say.
We continue to call on Congress to do something. To do something. We need universal background checks. We need ban
Nope.
ban assault weapons
Nope.
and high capacity magazines.
Nope.
require safe storage of firearms, invest in violence prevention programs, and pass a national red flag law. Enough is enough. And I cannot say this enough, which is enough is enough. We cannot allow this to happen in our communities.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but I also do because like now she's going full Kamala with the same words over and over. And did anyone notice like did she get a wonky eye in the past like few weeks or so?
Look, the one,
yeah,
the
it's
one
like
is
off.
straight.
But either way, of course, we know that they're not going to just let it simmer down and not talk about real issues and shit like that. And also, whenever you try to say require safe holding, what like, so are you going to come into every single gun owner's home and check all of their stuff? Is that what you're trying to say that you want to do? Because anybody can just say that yeah, I have it locked up or whatever else. But are you going to go full authoritarian and go in every single fucking gun owner's house and make sure they have their shit locked up in a safe at all times? Like, they don't make any sense with shit like that. And also, I'm sorry, but red flag laws are fucking stupid. Because you want to know who it comes down to is the person selling the gun. If they're going in there and you find them any way shady at all, then don't sell it to him. And of course, yes, I know people can be like, well, what if it was his dad's gun and he didn't look shady? Got it. Get it. Good. Okay, cool. How about the parents actually be a fucking working parent and do some good shit? And hello, Working Blue. Sorry, I'm going off a little bit right now.
No, go ahead.
But how about the parent actually do their fucking job? Teach the kids to not be that way. And if they are getting picked on at school, teach your kid to stand up for his fucking self. And I know if he might be a nerd or whatever else, but you got to teach these kids coping mechanisms.
Yep.
That's why a lot of this shit's happening. They don't have coping mechanisms. This all started with the fucking the safe space crying bullshit.
Yeah.
Listen, if you pick on your kids worse than they get picked on, they're like, yeah, because it's true. Listen, so my dad, when I
That's
was
not sound parenting advice.
I mean, it depends on what sound you're going for. I mean,
but listen, my dad, when I was a kid, my dad used to punch me in my arm. My dad was a bodybuilder. What up? Cheers, Jay. Like, my dad was a bodybuilder. Like, he would literally curl with hundreds. Like, my dad was fucking yoked at one point of his life. And he would punch me, like, he would go bam, bam, and hit me in my arm. And he would just tell me, nobody's going to ever hit you harder than that. And, like, it wasn't full force, but he was just like, for me as a kid, it was like, for me, I dropped to the ground and then, like, I started to get older. And I was like 9 or 10, and my dad would hit me, and, like, he would do it and, like, realize that it wasn't enough, so he'd do it more. And like, so like,
yep, that's part
of
it.
And it was just, hey, and he was right. Nobody would ever hit me harder than that. So if you have a child that is getting picked up, and the thing is, like, you as a parent, you have to come in and talk to your kid and know that, tell your kid, hey, dude, I love you. If there's something wrong, just tell me. Like, I would rather you tell me than we find out later and something be wrong. Like I do with Spencer. I'm like, dude, what's wrong? Just tell me. Like, is there something wrong? No. And Spencer's on the spectrum, and like, you can tell when he's not okay. So it's like, for me, it's like easier, so I can pick up on it. What's wrong? Nothing. Come on, you can tell me. It's not a problem. You can tell me what's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it's somebody picking up on you at school, and I'm like, dude, listen, you are 5'7", almost 5'8". You're 11 years old. Do you understand? You can trounce these kids. Don't let these fucking kids bully you, dude. Don't let these kids tell you what to do. Like, you can dominate these kids. Don't let them tell you what to do. And I even said that to Madison one time when Madison got in trouble for punching a kid in the school lunch line because he cut her in line, and she was like, yo, don't do that. And the kid's like, ah. So she went, okay, and bam. And I went, Madison, I told you not to start a fight. You can finish it. What did I tell you? You don't start it, you finish it. Don't start a fight, finish the fight. Yeah, but he started it. Okay. I mean, listen.
See, that's what my mom had to do to me, because I'm not gonna lie. I got into one fight when I was in second grade, and the kid just fucking beat my ass. And then my mom was like, did you even try to do anything? I was like, nah, I didn't know what to do. And she was like, don't ever do that again. If they try to hit you, you hit back, and you better finish it. And I was like, You told
Yes,
me
ma'am.
to.
Were you in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds where you spend
Yeah.
most of your days?
Did you tell your mom did you tell her to hold on, and did you get your, like, Home Alone walkie-talkie and be like, "Can you repeat that, please?" So you had it on tape?
I know I should have. Oh, but but it was like as soon as but it was like the kind of kid I was, I guess. I just wasn't going to do anything, I guess, unless I was given the green light. But as soon as she fucking said that, I was like, well, all right, you gave me the green light. Here we go. But that was also around the time whenever I think probably about 5 years later was whenever UFC started, the real UFC. And I was renting them all the time with my mom. So I watched from UFC 1 on up. So she was always pretty cool with all that stuff. Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Cheers, boys, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, listen, being a kid sucks.
Cheers.
Being a kid sucks. You know? And,
Yeah.
And it's kind of, listen, the old heads had it right, you know, in teaching us, like, just sitting there just making fun of us. Like, we felt bad and we felt like shit, but like, you went to school, like, my name was Fat Dave in high school. And like, it was like, okay, like, because my dad would fucking roast me worse than that. Like, my family would roast me worse than that. Like, so,
dude, the way we grew up was like Call of Duty fucking chat rooms and shit. The way we talk shit to each other.
Yeah. So it was
Remember
just like,
how when you lost in Halo, what they would do to you?
Oh yeah.
What would they do?
Belittle you like a motherfucker.
Or they come over your dead avatar and like start crouching on you, like
you and
teabagging you. Yeah. Like, yeah, take it, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Shake and Bake Boys, I'm looking forward to the first game coming up in the fantasy football. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Biz is in the Shake and Bake Boys Fantasy Football League.
Hell yeah!
I couldn't get in this year, so but yeah, but I'll be in it next year. But can't wait. I'm still listening.
Hell yeah!
I'm still gonna watch the fantasy team that you have and just see what's going on with that.
Oh yeah, and I'll be asking for some advice if you see some shit.
But yeah, I mean, but then again, you have once again.
Yeah.
Let's not politicize things and jump to conclusions so quickly.
Before I begin, I do want to say,
I just want to say that you guys are fantastic, okay?
a few words about this tragic shooting that took place this morning in Winder, Georgia. We're still gathering information about what happened, but we know that there were multiple fatalities and injuries. And, you know, our hearts are with all the students, the teachers, and their families, of course. And we are grateful to the first responders and the law enforcement that were on the scene. But this is just...
Wait a minute. Is that Aaron Emholt over here?
I have no idea.
No. Could you imagine?
Shows.
Oh my word.
Yeah, he gets out of jail and he goes to a Kamala rally.
Oh, you ain't lying, man. The more she's on screen, the more gross she gets. Her is just a fucked up puck maker. She really is, man. Like,
why is she's always has that face on, like she, instead of a facelift, she got a face down.
Right, yeah.
It's that throat that got enlarged.
It's a senseless tragedy on top of so many senseless tragedies. And it's just outrageous that
if you need to find a vein,
country in the United States of America, that parents have to send their children to school worried about whether or not their child will come home alive. It's senseless. It is. We've got to stop it. And we have to end this.
The parents did try to stop it because there was a phone call before it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody tried to stop it, just like the same thing with Crooks. Face drop. Face off.
Yeah.
Just like with Michael, whatever, Crooks, whatever his fucking name is.
Retardy Oswald.
Yeah, Retardy Oswald. Like his parents called in and was like, "Hey, we don't know where our son is." By the way, there's a picture of him with a gun at the rally, and I like and by the way, CNN decided that they are full retard and decided to say that he had a collapsible stock or no, he had a collapsible stock, and that he put it in a backpack, and how it collapsed. Meanwhile, it was a picture of the barrel and the lower separated.
Right. Yeah.
It was
Did you not know? Yeah. Did you not yell you can do that with an AR like that?
But it's like it has nothing to do with collapsible stock. It's a
No.
folding stock, if anything.
Yeah, and it won't fit in a backpack with just a collapsible stock. That bitch, even with a 14-inch barrel, is still going to be hard. And it was a 16, I believe, on the gun he used.
You
But either
need
way,
it,
yeah,
but not even that. For a 14-inch barrel, you need an SBR.
yeah.
You need a permit to carry a
Or
short barrel rifle.
Tax stamp.
Yeah, you need a tax stamp to carry a short barrel rifle. Anything under 16 inches needs a tax stamp. So
Why?
even
Why is this short barreled rifle? I don't know these things. I need
No. As soon as he
education.
was like anything under 16 inches requires a tax stamp, I was like, so that's why I've never been taxed. All right, sorry, I had to go there.
no, that's why we're taxed, because we're under 16 inches.
Oh my god.
Willie Brown taxed that ass, by the way. Anyway, yeah. So anything under 16,
And
you
she
need
a hoe.
because
Sorry. He said it.
He did. Yeah, she a hoe.
She a hoe.
She was hilarious.
but yeah, no, because they want to know if you have a rifle that is small enough to conceal. That's
Gotcha.
basically what a tax
Right, that
stamp
makes
is. Like
sense.
they're like, oh no, it's a tax stamp. You need, and you have to pay like $200 for it. So they want to know
I mean,
who has a short barrel rifle, so that way they can, that you can put it in a bag and carry it. But that's what CNN did. CNN took a photo of the upper and the lower separated, which is two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally it takes you like, I don't want, like a minute or two
Yeah, a
to
minute
put
and
it
a half,
together.
maybe.
But
because really all you need is something to poke out the main pin,
Yeah.
front pin. You could separate them, put it back, and then put it in a bag, bring it out, put it back together within a minute. Not even.
yeah, but like when you're under those conditions that he was in, it might take a little bit longer because
Yeah.
you're aiming at the former president while Secret Service and police are aiming at you. So you're kind of like
Mhm.
this a little. So it takes a lot longer. But it's so stupid how they think that was, and unfortunately, a lot of people think that that's how a AR-15
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
is done. Like, oh, you could just like a fucking Lego, and it's not.
Yeah.
Epidemic of gun violence in our country once and for all. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this.
Does she not know that every time you hit the podium, it fucking resonates into that microphone? Holy shit.
Yeah, whatever. Let's just hear what this
way.
retard has to say.
So we will continue, of course, to send our prayers and our thoughts to the families and all those who were affected, including, I'm going off script right now, but listen, I mean,
oh my god.
Last year, I started a college tour, and I traveled our country meeting with our young leaders, right? And so it was college-aged young leaders. So I did trade.
You mean the people who you called stupid? 18 to 24-year-olds?
Yeah.
The people that you actually, listen, Google it. She called
Oh, yeah.
college students, anybody between the age of 18 and 24, stupid.
Yep.
Schools, colleges, universities, community colleges. By the way, I love Gen Z. I just love Gen Z.
Real quick, one more time. Why is it that, all right, first off, I think it's funny that she's like, oh, I'm going off script now, after everybody's criticized her for not being able to go off script. Sorry. And she's doing a lot of this when she's off script. When she's on script, her hands are set, and now she's like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Guys, I'm gonna fly away. I'll see you later. Bye.
She's trying to talk about gun control
and
the tragedy that happened today, and
I don't even.
And
know
now she's it's funny now she's talking about going to see the young people that she called stupid. So.
But I'll tell you, one of the things that I asked every time I went to the auditorium, and it would be filled with these young leaders, students, and I'd ask them, Raise your hand if at any point between kindergarten and 12th grade you had to endure an active shooter drill. And for the young.
I'm sorry. Didn't we have something called the Cold War? And anytime that they thought a missile was coming towards them, they had to do to get under their desk.
And I'd also like to
Yes.
know what schools and what cities. Oh yeah, she makes no. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. She doesn't make any sense about it. But also, I'd like to know what schools, what cities she went to, and everything else. Because guess what? I live in a state with constitutional carry, and guess how many schools here have done that? Fucking zero. So there's that.
But not for nothing. Even if they have, okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. But you have to. We spend enough money, okay? And I'm sorry. If we want to really talk about this shit, metal detectors in all the schools. There's metal detectors for courts. There's metal detectors for
Which I can.
jails.
I mean, I
There's-
can see that to an extent, but I'd rather pay fucking vets that don't have a job, that are sitting around, that
Mhm.
that can't do shit, and like maybe they might be somewhat handicapped or whatever, like in ways from like being injured on the job or whatever else. But you know what they can do is sit there with a gun, and if they see something, they can also call on their fucking radio to other people. Keep lookout. Like there's people that we can be paying to do this stuff, which I mean, I get your point about somewhat metal detectors, but in a way, in my mind, that makes the area that's like a little bit more of like a prison sense in my mind.
yeah,
Mhm.
I get that, but it's like in the same token, it's we want our kids to be safe, okay, and I get that, but like then invest in like locked doors or someplace safe where like listen, I lived in Tornado Alley, okay, so like everybody knew. Yeah. So you had tornado shelters. I still have tornado shelters here.
Mhm.
It will it happen? Maybe not. But there's a just in case. I pay enough in school taxes. We pay enough in school taxes so that way the schools can be very, very safe. Okay. None of that, like,
How
go ahead.
No, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
None of that, like, we need to invest in mental health. Like, once
Yeah.
again, kids are assholes. Okay, we have to understand that kids are assholes. Okay, and we can't protect. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say something that is very con
Controversial.
controversial. Sorry, my brain just went. Bloop. I just did a Kamala. We can't protect every single person. Never gonna happen.
Exactly.
Never gonna fucking happen. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
It's never going to happen. We can't protect every single person. That's not going to happen.
Oh, believe me, the Democrats and them
Yeah.
think that we can, and that's why they want to. That's why they're going to chip away at it. It starts with assault weapons, then it goes to other
Mhm.
things like your regular fucking semi-automatic guns. Then they'll say, "Well, you can keep your hunting rifles," and then look where that goes to fucking Australia. She's already mentioned Australia
Yeah.
before whenever they met with the leaders of Australia, and she's like, "Look at our friends over in Australia. Maybe we should go about what like use their use what they're doing as like an example." It's like no bitch.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah. Oh,
why
look at
we
the
have our
camps that
guns.
they put people in. It's so nice. They have a porch.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, she's even said that she wants X shut down because of freedom of
that
speech. Yeah.
teach self-defense in schools.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
am all about that.
Instead of gym, teach BJJ.
Yeah,
Fucking
and talking about Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Don't
yeah.
get your mind in a gutter, anybody.
I was like,
I'm not talking about Kamala Harris here. I'm talking about actual Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But yeah, no. I mean, it's like I said, unfortunately, we can't save everybody, but we make school shootings out to be this big thing. Meanwhile, we have people and they're like, oh, it's a 14-year-old kid. I just saw the other day that a 14-year-old kid robbed and killed 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've
yeah.
seen it all. I see it all the time on Twitter or X, whatever it's called. Like I see that you see that shit all the time.
You
You
know
know,
what would help? Also, which I mean, I'm gonna say it, even though I am from a fatherless home, it would help if a lot of these homes were not fatherless. But I was also raised with a bunch of tough ass dudes that would beat my ass when I was younger, so I got the way that I am to not be a fucking piece of shit.
yeah.
Well, and that's the problem is that like when events like this happen, it's just the automatic first thing is no more guns, 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 guns.
Yeah.
Like guns are bad. But there is never talk about why. Why did this happen? Or getting to the crux of like, hey, why don't we take all these incidents that happen? Is there any common denominator here? Like, why could something like this happen? And it always stops at this discussion, and it just goes to it'll start at like go to mental health, but it'll just stop there and not go more into like mental health.
Yep.
Like, are they on any type of medications? What's the home life like? What type of things were they consuming on social media? Like
Right.
things like that.
Are
Sorry,
we
I've been
pretty
talking
much
all day.
Are we about done with whatever she's talking about? Because I'm tired
we
of
could be-
seeing her face.
Yeah, we could be done with her.
All right. I can only take so much of that lady. God, when she talks though, too, her voice is. I would rather hear RFK talk for hours over her.
She sounds so sad all the time.
Yeah, she does.
She's a sad clown.
She really is.
She's just like, I'm sorry. Why do they put these, like, not for nothing? Once again, I would vote for a Tulsi Gabbard. I would vote for a fucking Nancy Mace. Not so much Nikki Haley but why do they put these women up there that people can't stand? Like, and not for nothing. It's like now all of a sudden,
the Democrat Party has changed big time because I mean, obviously that's why Tulsi left and all that, because they're going more toward, like, even Tulsi used to be more about gun control and she's not anymore. I don't know what her view is completely, but she went on Drinking Bros and she was pretty candid about how she has reversed her position. So, thank you for the 5 there, Jen.
Thank you, Jennifer. Can we please talk about those stupid signs there? No way forward. New way forward.
New way forward. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess I don't know what their new way is supposed to be, if that means communism, which is what she seems to be spouting all the time with her equity talk and shit.
I don't understand. Like you said, like there's so many women that I would vote for, but they put these women on that and we will move farther to the left and we will do this and we will like.
And I have to do it every time.
And I think a lot of it is
Kimberly.
them depending on their stupidity and sheer blind allegiance to the party, in which seems to try to act like they give a fuck about these young ones or the black population and stuff like that, which they obviously do not. They like to pander to them all the fucking time. But yeah, what's happening, Outlaw?
What about Outlaw? Yeah, I just it's one of those things that it's just like I don't care. I want to vote for a woman. You're making me feel like I don't want, but I want to vote for a woman. I do, but I don't want to vote for anyone.
Perpetuate. They put up these insufferable women to perpetuate the patriarchal stereotype, so it can get stronger and stronger of people being like, we're in a patriarchy, we can't vote for women. So then later on, then they'll get this real radical woman that comes on and everyone's like, all right, listen, we knocked down all these women, let's at least try one. They've been bitching at us for so long, we might as well give them one. And then communism,
and then communism.
And then communism.
Oh man, and that's exactly where it's going to. Like, and anybody, I listened to that interview with Lex Friedman with Donald Trump, and I know Lex tried to kind of say also, and I know Dave Smith has as well, that they kind of don't think that she's a communist and shit. Well, I don't know what more rhetoric the bitch has to spew besides the being unburdened by what has been is like what Mao and them fucking talked about back in the day by getting rid of the olds, getting rid of the old guard, all that type of shit, and bringing us into what would be new, and then talking about equity, which means equal outcome, which is the shit that was spouted by Marx. Like, how can it not get more into that direction? And then most of the points are, well, they won't be able to do that if the bitch gets in. They will try as hard as possible to get rid of the filibuster, to try and get rid of the electoral college, all of our checks and balances.
That effing article. There's an article from the New York Times that said, "Oh shit, it's the
It's about talking about the
article."
Constitution. But I wanted
Yes,
to, I wanted
Yeah.
to go I wanted to go quick to what Biz was talking about,
Yeah,
the being
yeah.
unburdened.
Yeah.
By the way, if you haven't checked out this podcast with Brett Weinstein, check it out.
It was good. I watched
It's
it. Yeah.
insane.
Mhm.
It's insane. Brett Weinstein is on another level.
I like
of,
him and his brother are both really fucking super smart and good at explaining shit. And they're very old school Democrat liberal.
Mhm.
That's Brett
What can-
Weinstein. He's the professor from Evergreen, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
He was
Yeah,
the professor that got thrown out of Evergreen.
Evergreen College. Okay.
All right, let's listen to this.
Be unburdened by what has been. What does that mean?
Mhm.
I don't know if I should say. I don't know if I should say. There's a line in Marx where sometimes you hear certain phrases like a world to win. AOC uses the phrase, we have a world to win, which comes from the end of the Communist Manifesto, originally written in German.
Yep.
It was the name. I used to hang out in the Revolutionary Bookstore in Cambridge, Massachusetts with the communists because they print everything in every language. So if you're trying to learn multiple languages, they'll print the same text in all of these languages and you can compare. It basically says you have to wipe out what has been to arrive in the new.
And where's it from? What can be unburdened by what has been?
It's not a direct translation, but it occurs in Karl Marx. Now, I wasn't expecting this. I could find you the exact reference. If you think about
Yes,
what
sir.
Mao had to do to wipe out Chinese history, what Pol Pot had to do, you're trying to wipe out memory
Mhm.
because the memory has all of this burden. Why
be
do
right
you
back.
why is it important to go after doctors and lawyers and teachers and professors? Because in some sense they are going to resist the new order that you're about to impose. You're looking for a blank slate.
So like a tether to the past.
If you Google nail house under Google Images, do it. Or you can't do it, or you're off the internet.
No, I can do it.
Pause it. Sorry. I was like, pause it. And I was still muted for my sneeze. What he said there is incredible, saying that the reason why they needed to take out like the doctors, lawyers, teachers, and stuff like that, because they would be the resistance to what would be new coming in. Have you noticed though that now the infiltration has been into those different types of industries to go along with the flow of the new of what is to be undone.
Who was kicked out of the medical field when you wouldn't get a certain shot?
Yeah.
Who are they going after with a certain presidential candidate? They're going after his lawyers. They're going after doctors and nurses.
Well,
And if you don't
but it
agree-
also oh yeah,
Like
then
Brett,
you're out.
like Brett, if you don't agree with what's going on, they will let you go.
And then when he's talking about about history, that's why you see the rewriting of history going on right now as we speak. Things are going on, either articles being memory hold, even
Mhm.
articles being changed in real time from its original. Things like that. That's what I think is a huge travesty. If you're going to do, because like if you're going to do redaction, then you need to do a whole new article, not just change it.
Exactly. Yeah, they just changed the title and then they put whatever at the very fucking end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not only
And
that, they put it in like the second or third paragraph.
You're lucky if you get it there, bro. Usually it'll be
Right.
at the end. Like it'll be like an asterisk. Like the steroids in baseball. It'll be down at the bottom.
oh yeah. Do you know how many articles I've read, and it's this whole like long article about something or another, and at the end the last paragraph is, oh, but all of this is speculation and so has retracted this, that, or whatever. And you're like, So what the fuck is the point of this article? It means
What-
nothing. It's garbage.
Or you read the propaganda in the first paragraph about it, and then all of a sudden it gives you the history of everything that oh yeah, and then Donald Trump was accused of sexual harassment, and then his father gave him $1 billion, and at the bottom of the article, like he said, it's like, but we don't know if he really did the sexual harassment, or the judge did technically say, the jury did clear him of rape, so it was also in a civil court, so it's like, wait a minute, so what was this long article about? Like, what are we
Right.
what are we talking about? Like, so did it happen or didn't it happen? Are you reporting on what's
Yeah.
happening, or are you not reporting on what's happening?
And this is why all these countries and stuff now who are going more totalitarian dictator type taters.
And for
You know?
anyone that doesn't own it and wants to know why you should hate communism, own it. So that way you can read it. This dribble, boring, uninspiring, complaining bullshit. That's how.
Yeah.
This is why I hate communism, because I read the shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Well,
I mean,
that's why you see, though, right now what's going on with a lot of countries. You've got France, you've got Brazil now, and stuff like kicking out Telegram or Rumble or wanting to get rid of X because, and they're saying that the free speech is dangerous. It's just like,
Yeah.
what's the Benjamin Franklin quote? If you give up freedom for safety, you'll get neither deserve.
Yeah.
Neither. Yeah, like you
And-
won't get it.
and listen, do yourself a favor. Own hard copies of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Buy yourself a hard copy of the Constitution. Buy yourself
yeah.
a hard copy of a dictionary. Buy yourself a hard copy of the Communist Manifesto. Buy yourself hard copies, because you know why? They can change digital copies.
They absolutely did. Look at the Civil War. They changed the history on that because it wasn't totally about like race and whatever. It was about a bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't about
Uh-huh.
like race. Like, I mean, they may have had parts of it, but it wasn't what it was totally about.
Yeah.
But other ones won't talk about that.
It's well, I mean, listen, the South fought for their quote unquote property, that they were told that was their property, and they wanted the 3/5. They wanted to actually count slaves as people, and the North didn't. The North was saying, no, they're not. They don't count. And the South was kind of like, no,
they weren't saying that. They were giving them a 3/5 quarter count of a vote or whatever because they didn't want the South to win.
Yeah.
It wasn't about them
Okay.
not being people. It was about the fact that they wanted them to lose. That
Yeah.
was the real basis of it.
And it's just it's being revised as, the Confederate flag is racist, and if you wear the Confederate flag, even if you're a black person in the South wearing a Confederate flag, you're a racist.
Yeah, you're the black face of white supremacy. Remember
Or an
that?
Uncle Tom. You should stop
Congratulations.
dancing. And it's so stupid. It's the stupid, like that makes me more angry than anything. Like, more angry than calling a white person a racist. When you sit there and tell a black person who is raised in the South, who flies a Confederate flag, that they're racist and that they're tap dancing for the white folks, how fucking dare you? How do you understand that they don't like you? They're just doing this. How fucking dare you tell somebody what somebody else thinks?
Yeah.
This is why
And he
freedom
can say that because he's a brown person.
Well, or a white fucking savior.
No, you.
Oh yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm an American Puerto Rican. I say American first now. I used to say Puerto Rican American. Now I'm an American Puerto Rican. But yeah, it's just it pisses me off that that people have the fucking nerve to say that to somebody's face, or even online. Like,
I was called a fascist apologist before, and I was like, "Excuse me."
I think that shit's hilarious because anytime I hear that, I'm always like, define fascism.
Right.
define what fascist is. Donald Trump. No, define it. What's a fascist?
Mm-hmm.
It's just dude.
Words are hard. Okay, guys, words are hard.
It's just the stupidity of it all, and no, words don't mean anything anymore. And once again, I really believe, I truly believe that they are not teaching kids script, so they cannot read the Declaration of Independence.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think so we went. It weirds me out today. We went for the baby's first first appointment, right?
Mhm.
They take pictures of your kids every time they go. Like there was a girl who was, I think she looked like she was like 12 or 13 with I guess her rest of her sisters or whatnot, and they took a picture. And I said to Amanda, "That's fucking creepy." Like they keep
Mhm.
taking pictures of your like she's like,
Yeah, it
"Oh, it's
is.
probably for like, for growth and everything like that." They're collecting a database. They're collecting a
Oh, yeah.
database of your face
Mm-hmm.
for your entire life. If you don't think people call me racist just because of my voice, I'm from Virginia.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. But they're collecting a database of your face. Like listen, we're online. So yes, they're collecting our face and whatnot.
Yeah.
But still, our kids,
Yep.
every time you go there, like what are you trying to are you trying to say
It's
like,
for
oh,
safety, Davey. It's for safety.
that's
Yeah.
It's for safety.
and that's what annoys me the most because that's what they say. That's what well, it's the safety of your child. Fuck you. It's not for the safety.
Mhm.
It's not for safety. You know
Oh,
why
yeah.
you're doing it.
Yeah, to teach cursive. So yeah, so they can't
Yeah.
read or be able to write in it. And also the analog clock thing really pisses me off too. We should be teaching a lot of these kids. Like, see, like I especially teaching my son too. My middle daughter, she's always doing dance and whatever, so I don't get as much time to teach her things. But my youngest daughter, which is 8, soon to be 9, she already knows how to light a fire. She knows more gun safety than most dudes I know. She is going
Mhm.
to be a little badass because I'm making sure that she knows all this shit. She knows how to start writing in cursive already, but teaching her that, and like we got to teach these young kids. Like, and I know I'm not, like maybe most of us might not have them or whatever, or like it's a good way to pay attention and start putting it out there that this isn't what they're teaching. But I know Mama's going to be about teaching that. I know Davey's going to be about
Yeah.
teaching that. It's like
Mhm.
now that they're not doing it, it's time to start teaching these kids this stuff because we know that these schools are so fucked up they're not going to do that.
Is it wrong that I test my kids' teachers every year and I send them a letter in cursive to see if they can respond correctly?
Good.
Well,
In
They're
perfect
gonna
script.
they're gonna pull the Billy Madison Rizzuto. Is that what
Good.
Rizzuto?
But I
Good.
mean, speaking of teaching kids at
Yeah.
school, this was reported out by our buddy Dave Bondi.
Mm.
I mean, this
We
is
got to
the-
have him on soon.
yeah,
I want to message him.
I got to contact him. I just told Mama Jay that today, and we were talking about stuff, and I was like, I gotta reach out to Dave. But yeah, but I'm not even. Let's just listen.
Yeah.
This weekend, the Detroit News published an article on a tentative agreement that Rochester Schools is considering with its teachers. If this agreement is adopted, it would be a 5-alarm fire for education transparency. The contracts do a couple of things to fight transparency. First, they put additional burdens on parents who want to observe their child's classroom. Second, it prevents anyone from recording classes to see what's really going on. And third, it inhibits parents who are trying to use the Freedom of Information Act to obtain educational records. Worse still, if all of these provisions are adopted, this contract could serve as a model for other districts who are hoping to avoid transparency. So parents, if education transparency is important to you, talk to your school boards, learn about what's in these contracts, and push back against these anti-transparency measures.
So they don't want you to know what's going on in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you.
What about the safety of the kids?
You pay their salary. Stop forgetting this, folks. I
Those
said it
teachers thought it was a terrorist letter in cursive. Right?
There's all that spaghetti writing. I said this last night on Off Label. They know they're above you. They know they're above you. Teachers get paid by you. Politicians get paid by you. If they're not transparent in what they're teaching your children, there's a problem.
Oh yeah.
You have the right to know.
Absolutely.
You have the absolute right to know what's being taught to your children. You have the absolute right to know what's going on with your children. They don't have the right to tell you no.
And that gentleman is right. Even now, like to this day, when you try to ask the school for things, you do get a lot of pushback. The reason being is because many parents don't. And I had this example last year with you guys when my son was going to a field trip and his permission slip was pretty much a power of attorney that I was signing over for my kid for the day.
Yep.
And when I told the school and the vice principal, I was like, look at this. I was like, I am not signing this. I was like, I would like mark stuff out and stuff. I was like, read this.
Mhm.
And it was such a problem. I had to talk to they had to talk to this lawyer for the county to make sure it's okay if I did that. And I
That
was
is
like, what the
ridiculous.
hell?
Well, what else was it? Wasn't it the other shit that they were trying to teach them? Where democracy and republicanism is a secondary aspect of what we have, and it's like we
That
are a
that we live in
republic.
it that we live in a democracy with republicanism
Yeah,
in it. And I was like, we're a constitutional republic. Like,
yeah.
I don't so I had to tell you actually, so this is how I know that I'm teaching my son right. He was over at his grandparents' house this past weekend for a day to get spoiled by them. And they were playing Cards Against Humanity Family Edition.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't tell me what the they couldn't tell me what the black card was, but like different cards that they put down, and it was like supposed to be something like disparaging, right? And my son, 8-year-old, put down Democrat as his card, and like everyone was yelling. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
he was thinking he was saying, and this is Alex Jones by the time he was 3. And I was like,
That is
don't
hilarious.
tell your dad.
But speaking of shit that they're wanting to do away with, I do have the article up, so let's go ahead and bring this up anyways. This is the article about the Constitution is sacred. Is it also dangerous? One of the biggest threats to America's politics might be the country's founding document. I'm going to go ahead and let's do this. Scroll in just a little bit. All right. Nope, I already signed up for free. You're not getting my money. The United States Constitution is in trouble after Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. He called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Number one, no, he did not. What he did say was that in times like this, there can be consideration to do that. He didn't say to do it or anything like that. And I remember exactly what he said about that, because there's people who did suspend part of the Constitution at one time. Abraham Lincoln at
Democrats?
one time, other
Oh,
presidents.
did he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he was throwing
absolutely
political
they did.
opponents in fucking jail.
Yeah.
So let's not forget about that, even though he did some good shit. But
Well, and then
outrage,
who's been bitching and crying about wanting to change the Constitution forever, and how it's an outdated document.
all the left.
Mhm.
Outraged critics denounced him for threatening a document that is supposed to be sacrosanct.
Sacrosanct.
Yeah, I hate the fucking $10 words. By announcing his desire to throw off constitutional constraints in order to satisfy his personal ambitions, Trump was making his authoritarian inclinations abundantly clear. It's no surprise then that liberals charge Trump with being a menace to the Constitution. Jesus. But his presidency and the prospect of his reelection have also generated another very different argument that Trump owes his political assent to the Constitution, making him a beneficiary of the document that is essentially anti-democratic and, in this day and age, increasingly dysfunctional. See, that's where it starts getting to the point where they want it to either be a living document or gone away with. They want it to be gone.
Oh yeah, this next paragraph will tell you what it is.
All right. After all, Trump became president in 2016 after losing the popular vote but winning the Electoral College Article 2. He appointed 3 justices to the Supreme Court, 2 of whom were confirmed by senators representing just 44% of the population. Those 3 justices helped overturn Roe versus Wade, a reversal with which most Americans disagreed. Yeah, I don't think most did. The eminent legal scholar Erwin, wow, that's a fucking last name, isn't it? Chemerinsky.
Chemerinsky?
Yeah, gotta be. Worried about opinion polls showing a dramatic loss of faith in democracy, writes in his new book, No Democracy Lasts Forever. Yeah, no shit. That's what our founding fathers said. That's why we made a republic. It is important for Americans to see that these failures stem from the Constitution itself. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is this what he said? Really quickly, because I'm trying to find it. That's what I've been looking for. Is this when? So, with the revolution of the massive and widespread fraud and deception, and working closely with big tech companies, the DNC, and the Democratic Party, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner, or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even though found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and could not condone false and fraudulent elections. Is that the quote that they keep talking about?
I think
That he
I
so.
think so.
Meanwhile, this is what they're talking about, is throwing out the Constitution. This is what he said. This is what he said.
Yep. He was saying if you let fraud happen, they will terminate the Constitution.
A massive
Yeah.
fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. That I couldn't remember what he said.
Yep.
Wow.
They really like to misconstrue everything.
Wow. I'm sorry. I was trying to remove
Oh,
mine.
there you go.
Yeah.
But let's see. Back in 2018, Chemerinsky, the dean of Berkeley's law school, still seemed to place considerable faith in the Constitution, pleading with fellow progressives in his book, We the People, not to turn their back on the Constitution and the courts. By contrast, No Democracy Lasts Forever is markedly pessimistic,
Yeah.
asserting that the Constitution, which is famously difficult to amend, has put the country in grave danger. Chemerinsky lays out what would need to happen for a new constitutional convention. And in the book's more somber moments, he entertains the possibility of secession. West Coast states might form a nation called Pacifica. Red states might form their own country. He hopes that any divorce, if it comes, will be peaceful. The prospect of secession sounds extreme, but in suggesting that the Constitution would hasten the end of American democracy, Chemerinsky is far from alone. The argument that what ails the country's politics isn't simply the president or Congress or the Supreme Court, but the founding document that presides over all three has been gaining traction, especially among liberals. Yeah, that's a surprise. Books and
Yeah.
op-eds critiquing the Constitution have proliferated. Scholars are arguing that the Constitution has incentivized what Stephen Levitsky and Daniel Ziblatt call a tyranny of the minority. That's fucking ridiculous.
A tyranny of the minority. What does that mean? A tyranny of the minority.
It
Okay.
means they're not listening to you because your shit is bullshit and we're not going with it. So that's tyranny against them. The English is, in some sense, a flip side of veneration. Americans have long assumed that the Constitution could save us. A growing chorus now wonders whether we need to be saved from it. Born of compromise and contradiction. In 1787, when 55 delegates convened in Philadelphia to revise the Articles of Confederation, they ended up embarking on a project that was much bigger in scope. As Americans are taught in history class, the delegates drafted a new document establishing a national government consisting of three branches: legislative, judiciary, and executive, each functioning as a check on the other. The delegates were all white, of course, God, and they were all men. But they nevertheless diverged on what they deemed to be an intractable issue: slavery. Though several states had already passed the abolition statutes, nearly half the delegates were slave owners. The Constitution was thus born of compromise. Yeah, it was born of compromise because there was people that didn't even want a constitution or federalism at all. They wanted more of an anarchy state.
Yeah.
But that's the anti-federalists. If people want to read that, I have the Federalist Papers myself. I have like that whole thick version of the Constitution. The Constitution was born of compromise, with the enslavers getting better end of the deal. To determine representation in the House and the Electoral College, the 3/5 compromise allowed slave states to count 3 out of every 5 people being held in bondage, none of whom, needless to say, could vote, and the fugitive slave clauses stipulated that even when enslaved people escaped to free states, they would never be free.
You know who else couldn't vote? People who
Women.
didn't own land.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you didn't own land, you couldn't vote. Yes, that included women.
Yep.
But if you
Yes.
didn't own land, if you weren't a landowner, if you were a child of what was it? Even if you were a child of 18 years old and you lived at home, you couldn't
Mhm.
vote. You
Right.
had to own land. If you didn't own land, you could not vote.
Well, such compromises meant that those who shared overlapping politics could still draw widely different conclusions from the Constitution, which doesn't make sense. The abolitionist William Garrison considered the compromises so damning as to make the Constitution a covenant with death and an agreement with hell. But Frederick Douglass maintained the opposite, that slavery in the United States could be upheld by claiming that the Constitution does not mean what it says. As the historian James Oakes put
Hold
it,
on. Who's William Garrison? I don't know. I know
Isn't
who
that the
Frederick
guy
Douglass is.
Wasn't that the gay guy from JFK? You're a nice man, Mr. Garrison. By the way, Rich
Oh,
makes a great
man.
point. You can't call Trump a bumbling old idiot and a genius mastermind at the same time. I still don't get that yet. He's absolutely right.
right?
You can't call him a dumb idiot at the same time saying he's a mastermind of January 6th. I thought he was
Right.
dumb.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
As the historian James Oakes put it, Douglas shared Abraham Lincoln's view, recognizing in the Constitution the promise of universal freedom. A promise of universal freedom, yes, but also instructions on how to thwart it. There's a glaring discrepancy between the soaring words in the Constitution preamble, a call to we the people that is a seemingly ringing endorsement for popular governance, as Cherminsky puts it, and the destruct of democracy embedded in the rest of the document, reflecting the framers' inability to conceive of a future when women and black people would have a right to vote. The legacy of the history is a stubborn ambivalence in the Constitution. Is the Constitution supposed to be a guarantor of human equality, or for a society with a profoundly, and I don't even know,
It's like inegalitarian origin story.
Okay, yeah, is the lofty principle just hypocritical cover?
Jennifer.
Yeah, they go into yeah, it's a whole bunch of other shit that I'm not even gonna fucking go into. But in my aspect of why are you talking about all that when all of that got done away with amendments and the civil rights movement and everything
Right.
else? The rest of the Constitution is what it's supposed to stand for, is
Well,
freedom.
What I got from the first part of this article was, see, because in 2016, the only reason why we got Donald Trump is because of the Electoral College. So we need to get rid of that. And because he had that power, he got to put in these justices to take away this from us women.
Mhm.
Because, we need that.
Well, what was that?
Fucking states.
What was it? Whenever I sent it, I was like, that's why they want to do away with the filibuster and the Electoral College. They want to get away with all these checks and balances that we do have because they want an actual democracy, which I don't know if
Right.
that would
Mob
screw them or not.
rule.
Yeah, because if it started coming down to that, you're going to get rural people that come out to actually fucking vote more, which they should be anyways. All you hunters and rural people out there that live out in the fucking butt fucking nowhere, you're probably not hearing this, but get your ass out and fucking vote. Like, you're
Mhm.
part of the reason why we're losing to these fucking retards in these blue states. Whether you want to hear that or not, it's true.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
Trump was talking about when he's like, Christians, come out and vote. This will be the only time you have to vote. And then they were like, Donald Trump said you'll never be able to vote again. It was like, no,
Yeah.
he's talking about the Christians and Catholic people who just sit at home and don't vote on election day. They just like, whatever. and it's a large majority of them that don't go out to vote. And
I'll say there is a turning though when it comes to like either that demographic as well as the like suburban housewife type, because I know that there's many people in my own family who they're not really into politics. They hate Donald Trump, but they're like, I can't anymore. Like, stop making me defend him. And now I'm voting for him. And I'm going to take people to go vote for him.
And I also believe I think it was 2020 that New York Times put out an article about the Constitution, then also talking shit about it. So that's more than once that they have. Obviously, they're super left leaning, but it's pretty obvious they want to do away with it or have their convention of states, which I think would go bad for them.
listen, the same people who told you that the electoral college don't work is the same is probably this woman right here who tells you, who has a great, by the way, I'm going to go see Am I Racist by Matt Walsh in the theater because this sounds hysterical. It sounds hysterical. Matt Walsh can be a tool bag sometimes.
Yeah.
And I say that, but yes, there's sometimes Matt Walsh comes off as a tool bag, but this movie looks hysterical.
My daughter's 4 years old. I am an anti-racist educator, quote unquote. She's still watching Disney movies.
I think you should say, quote unquote, white savior, madam.
Right.
Or a redheaded white woman as pure as the driven snow talking about anti-racism. The irony gets thicker.
Movies, and she is choosing a white princess over princesses of color.
Have you talked to her about that?
All the time.
My 3-year-old daughter is her favorite princess is Moana.
Love it.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
But then I also thought, there's a little bit of cultural appropriation here. She wants to be Moana for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we navigate that?
Wait, you have to hear it again. Did you hear that giant gulp she takes? Listen to the gulp.
She wants to be Moana for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we navigate that? Do I go and buy the Pacific Islander native attire for my white 3-year-old?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
But I guess what we might call the Moana problem here is what, on one hand, is cultural appropriation. On the other hand, there's gravitating towards white characters.
Right.
So it's almost like no matter which way you go, you end up back in racism.
We think every space belongs to us because we live in a white supremacist society.
Is America an inherently racist country?
I think the word inherent is challenging there. If we say
fundamentally,
yes. America is racist to its bones. All of the
so inherently.
Yeah.
These are the people
that was a good
telling
setup.
you that the electoral college is a bad thing. Like, it's just, it's so. By the way, he got into the DNC and walked right behind Chuck Schumer in his dumb liberal costume, which is just him in a man bun.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was. I think there were several other conservatives too that did similar
Oh yeah,
things for the DNC.
James O'Keefe was there too in like a Kamala jacket and shit. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta find the TikTok video. There was another guy from TikTok there doing the same thing. He was just like, so you think, would you choose women's reproductive rights or end racism or democracy? Would you rather have democracy or women's reproducctive rights? And the girl was like, that's a good question.
That makes my brain hurt. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of getting tired of seeing those because it just shows how fucking retarded everybody is, and it keeps happening like all the time. Like, I mean, I get the point of them, but Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to find.
I don't want to be blackpilled anymore. Give me hope.
Yeah.
Listen, there's hope because there's a lot of Gen Z who just are pissed off, man. There's a lot of Gen Z that are pissed off and don't want to do this. They see that they can't afford anything. Their parents can't afford to live. They can't afford to buy houses. You know, you have TikTok videos of people going like, how do you do this 9 to 5? Like, you know, they want me to come into work every single day and like answer emails after work. Like, I shouldn't have to do that. Like, yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you have to do what you got to do to keep a job. You know, and it's like it's crazy. You want to go there, Biz?
Yeah,
Okay.
we might as well. We'll go ahead and bring this up. This is going to be one of the other main articles from our title. And it's the Tennessee Star was the one who ended up releasing this. The Tennessee Star releases manifesto left by transgender Covenant school killer Audrey Hale.
We might get
Now,
taken off of YouTube for showing this, but fuck
don't
it.
care.
We're on Rumble. Follow us on Rumble Business Party Podcast.
Yep. I'm about to push the limit to YouTube because they can kiss my ass.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yep. On Tuesday, the Tennessee Star and editor-in-chief Michael Patrick Lehigh released 90 pages of writings left by Covenant school killer Audrey Elizabeth Hale. The Covenant Killers 2023 journal which was handwritten by Hale between January and March of 2023. Can be downloaded here if somebody wants to go there. But I think Rich said he tried to and it didn't get downloaded, but whatever.
He tried to, but he still hasn't received it.
And also, this is just one of like 23 journals they found.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what's in the other ones? Who knows if they'll even be putting those out later? But nonetheless, this is just one of the many. The journal was legally obtained by the Star from the source familiar with the investigation in June 2024. It was recovered from Hale's vehicle by officers with the Nashville Police Department, along with a spiral notebook after her March 27, 2023 attack on the Covenant School, where she murdered 3 9-year-old children and 3 adult staff members before she was killed by the MNNPD. Between June 5th and September 3rd, the Star published approximately 50 articles that are based on the Covenant Killers 2023 journal, but do not contain the actual pages from the journal. Tuesday's publication of the Covenant Killers 2023 journal provides further evidence supporting those 50 articles, but also reveals new information, including the octagonal symbol Hale drew when writing about her planned attack on a Covenant school on her gender identity. Hale, who was 28 years old when she died, was born a biological female but identified as a transgender male. At the time of her attack, she often signed journal entries using the name Aiden. So, like, one of the main things that we're already going to be picking up from this is we know that it was a big time mental health issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one reason why I think that they didn't want to put it out.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Forcing these kids who don't know who they are, don't know, aren't mentally stable, and you're making them part of the system. Like, has anybody actually seen some of these transgender kids that go from female to male and they put appendages on them?
Mm-hmm.
They take the skin off their arm.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
They have to take hormones or testosterone for their entire life. They are being put into big pharma for the rest of their lives.
And I would like to know who got to this girl at an early age for them to be put, because this has to be like some sort of grooming to think like that. But the octagonal symbol first appears in the journal's cover. Within its pages is a distinctive shape. Next appears on the first page opposite where the killer wrote, "Why does my brain now work right? Because I was born wrong." Hale's symbol appears throughout the journal, including an undated entry apparently written in mid-March 2023 when the killer wrote about the attack she planned later that month. "Soon I will leave this world. You and your friends will be just fine. Does it even matter if I'm alive?" Hale later added the octagonal symbol and above wrote it, "No regrets by the gun." So you guys can see some of that.
She had mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
and they perpetuated it by making her feel that she was a boy and born in the wrong body
Mm-hmm.
instead of giving her the help she needed.
And instead of that part, in the manifesto, there's several different writings about other locations. There were locations. It talks about. That's funny they put it. Talks about the school. There was a map of the school, a drawing of how potentially where she would enter, and the assaults that would take place. It's quite a bit of writing to it. I have not read the whole entire manifesto. Our team and the FBI have been working on this, Drake stated. And they've been working on it for how long? And it took this long for somebody to finally put it out. Well, now we know why.
Yeah.
While the star has not been obtained in the spiral notebook, which is said to contain writings of her operational plan of attack, a portion was leaked and subsequently published by conservative commentator and comedian Steven Crowder last year. I remember that. MNPD officers, accompanied by agents of the FBI and the ATF, seized 20 additional journals written by Hale between 2007 and 2022. So now that would be interesting to read the rest of those to see where the mentality started really going downhill about things.
Yep. Where it really started to take a turn. Maybe there's people named in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why they don't run a release at all. Maybe there's people who are named in that. They're like, oh, this person, did this to me. This person did that to me. And I've seen a statistic, and I don't remember where it is, but I've seen a statistic that said a lot of people who claim they're trans, it's done because they were assaulted as a child,
Mm-hmm.
and they felt that they can take back their power by becoming that. So if you were a male, you were sexually assaulted as a male, they felt like if they became a female, that they would take the power back because they were female and they wouldn't feel bad. And the same thing the other way around. If you were a female that got sexually assaulted by a male, that you would take your power back because now you are a male.
Yeah, which doesn't equate in my brain, but I guess I get it.
Yeah, it's
Hale written 2007 to 2022 at the Nashville residence she shared with her parents during a legally authorized search on the afternoon of March 27, 2023. Those journals are said to contain about 1,000 pages. In addition, numerous videos, a suicide note, and duplicate thumb drives containing information she may have wanted police to find were seized that afternoon. Rather than an ideologically driven composition, the manifesto comprised of the Covenant Killers journal, the spiral notebook found in her car, and the other 20 journals written between 07 and 22 seized at her residence is better understood as a collection of writings in which Hale sporadically wrote her thoughts in the months and years preceding her devastating attack. Our reporting on the Covenant Killer investigation has served the public interest, Michael Patrick Lehigh, the editor-in-chief of the Star, said on Tuesday. I don't think they go into a whole lot more. It's just they legally obtained it. They filed suit. Let's see if there's anything. What's this? On June 10th, prior to announcing her ruling, Judge Miles ordered Lehigh to appear in court on June 17th and explain why articles about the contents of Hale's journal, which were published in the Star between June 5th and June 10th, should not subject him to contempt of court charges. At that June 17th hearing, Miles ultimately reversed course, instead holding a landscaping hearing about the statute of the case and ignoring the original purpose of the hearing. In his statement, Lehigh explained how these actions had a chilling effect on his First Amendment rights. Yeah, I don't want to read through all that. I'm trying to look for anything else important about it. Okay, here's a little some in various entries that referenced her mental health. Hale confirmed her desire to transition genders, revealed a purported autism diagnosis, claimed she was not bipolar, and wrote that she once called a phone number associated with a suicide prevention helpline 5 times in one day. Hale also referenced her therapist in a possible allusion to her status as a 22-year-old mental health patient and Vanderbilt Medical University, where police documents obtained by the Star reveal she was twice evaluated for commitment. So she was,
Committed.
yeah, pretty well out there. In other entries, Hale wrote extensively about her gender identity, including a 3-page entry the killer titled My Imaginary Penis, in which she wrote about expressing sexual fantasies with stuffed animals. Whoa.
I mean, they could
Whoa.
probably turn that into one of those fucking Nickelodeon shows. They could
Oh
put that
my
in one of those,
God.
whatever those fucking
Dan
Blue's
Schneider will
Clues.
get right on it.
My
Mhm.
imaginary penis. We have
Man.
found a penis. We have found a penis.
my
We have
God.
found a penis somewhere in her butt.
Yeah, now she pretty much goes into some fantasies. Hale also wrote about various entries about the attack she planned at the Covenant School, revealing she considered several dates before settling on March 27th. Though the journal offers scant evidence of a political ideology or motive for the attack, Hale wrote a political rant in an entry dated 1 month prior, when she complained that the United States fails to respect the rights of disabled people, gun owners, and transgender people. So now, because of you, I wish death on myself because of the pure hatred of my female gender. Hale wrote later, with no rights, anyone's country is a I don't know what that
Shitty?
shitty dictatorship, I guess. Yeah, probably.
What is up with all these women saying, I have no rights? Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. What do you mean? What can't you do? Besides
I know.
pee standing up without a special device. Like, tell me.
Right. Exactly. And like anyone that talks about transgender rights, they have the same fucking right as everyone else. You guys just want to be weird and use the bathrooms you're not supposed to. That's really mainly what we have a problem with. Or are you trying to, is it your right to have your dances with kids and be naked on the streets with kids around at your pride parade? No, it's not a right. It's so weird.
It's a talking point. That's all it is. It's just a fucking talking point. Why? Oh boy, what happened? It says my okay.
Well,
it's just a talking point. It's nothing. It's nothing that they actually have. There's no definitive evidence of anybody losing any rights, because whenever they go on the street and talk to them and go, so what rights have you lost? I have the right to no bodily autonomy. What do you mean? He took Roe versus Wade away. No, he didn't. He just put it back to the states. Yeah. And so I now if my state, yeah, once again, vote locally, you stupid assholes. Vote locally. If you don't like them, vote them out.
Well, and bottom line with this is that the reason why it wasn't put out is because they didn't want the aspect of the mental health issue that we keep talking about, that whenever stuff like this happens, it's not the guns, it's the mental health of people that get their hands on them. And also, she clearly had problems for years. She was fucking almost institutionalized.
Yeah, twice.
Twice. So there were signs already for years.
And we'll find out with this Georgia kid too. I guarantee you that this is not just the first time he said or did anything. Guarantee you he's had issues in the past.
I would think so. We'll find out about that. I wouldn't be surprised though.
But speaking of the transgender community, we're gonna piss some people off. OnlyFans model slammed by LGBTQ mob after posing with fake bulges. I'm going to attempt a summation here. Women pretending to be dudes, pretending to be women for clicks, have made the transphia mafia, dudes pretending to be women, big mad. And boy, has it. It has made people.
Hold on. Wait, I don't get it. Hold on. Sorry. This is it. Like, I really did have a cough. So, OnlyFans models, so women from OnlyFans.
Well,
fake women that had vaginas.
Yeah.
On OnlyFans, decided to put fake peeners in their underpants and say that they were
trans.
They just put it in there, and they said that they were trans.
They have it.
They were
have the
saying just
pictures on
boys
here.
being boys.
They were dancing around. They
Mhm.
have the pictures and they're blurred out. So OnlyFans models
Okay,
are targeted by online LGBTQ mob after posing in underwear with fake bulges. Yes.
Okay, were they claiming that they were trans?
No.
Like,
Well, I'll read.
okay,
I'll read the article.
that's why I
Let
was
me
like, should I ask it or should I let you read it?
Yeah.
So why don't you
Two
read
only-
it? I'm gonna
two
shut
only-
up.
Two OnlyFans models have been accused of pretending to be trans women to make money off the platform. The adult content creators who go by Silly Lily TS went viral after they published a video on X captured just two boys being silly alongside a trans flag. The video promoted hundreds of responses from X users who claimed the visible bulge in the model's video were actually a sex toy and accused them of mocking transgender women. One comment reading, pretend to be trans to grift while also being transphobic is so embarrassing. So this is them who were dancing and they pretended to have fake bulges. They were dancing around.
So that's disturbing, but
And OnlyFans isn't. Hey, I know you. You're on OnlyFans. By the way, you have moms driving around with their OnlyFans on the back of their windows. Like,
so terrible.
Yeah. The adult content creators
starting
who
a
go by Silly-
podcast, don't discriminate, because remember, OnlyFans is turning around. They're going to be a
Oh.
podcast platform as well.
I don't even,
They're
like, to be
going-
honest, I don't think that it was a funny idea to talk about and shit, but I won't do it. I won't go on there.
I would.
I
would.
highly
They
I
look
highly-
like they look like they had so much fun on there.
I highly
look like they just-
disrespect OnlyFans.
I understand that, and I understand where it started from, but a lot of places started. Listen, the reason why we have CDs and VHS is because of porn. That's the only reason why. That's
Doesn't mean I'm gonna go on a
that's-
fucking network just to make money. Like
I
that
understand that.
puts out debauchery. I'm good on that.
Yeah, but I understand that. I listen.
Like, they got women on there with fake penises, for crying out loud. We can't
Added
do
another.
shit.
If there is something more disgusting than pretending to be transgender and then being transphobic towards trans girls, a third wrote, "Oh, fuck off and stop profiting off trans people. Everyone knows it's dicks in your knickers."
Yes.
It's dildos in your knickers. A fourth claims, "We know you're both fake. If you want to do NS, Madison's calling. Content, then sure do it. Hell, I do, but don't get in our space." Hold on, sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the ones that put it up there.
So were the trans community upset because they thought that these ladies were taking money from them?
Yeah, they're well, no,
With their
I mean,
content of them just
yeah, they're
saying,
gr-
"Hey, look at us. We have dildos in our pants," being funny.
yeah, they're mad at them for grifting off of it. They're
Mhm.
mad at them for making money off of it. Pretending to be a woman to grift while also being mad that women are grifting off the grifts is so hypocritical. The lack of self-awareness is embarrassing. Lily's OnlyFans account charges $9 a month to access content. She describes herself as your fave T-girl on her page. I'm sorry. It's hysterical.
It's hysterical. I think she's just being a giant troll, which I'm here for that. I think that's funny.
Listen, I'm sorry. You talk about how trans women are women, and then you sit there and these women are pretending to be trans girls, and you're mad that they're being trans girls. Which one is it though? Like, you can't have it both ways. So are you a trans girl, which means you're a man transitioning to a woman, or are you not a trans girl and you're a man? Like, you can't have it both ways. Don't be fucking
Mhm.
mad. Dude, it's so hysterical, man.
Mhm.
Everybody's just this is why I say we're in a fucking civil war. Tim Pool is absolutely right. We are in a civil war right now, and we don't even know it. Most people don't understand it, especially like the older generation. Like, they don't understand. We are in a civil war. Like, you have the old civil war was that people were killed, right? The new civil war is their livelihoods are being killed. If you don't agree with somebody, they will take your livelihood away. They will take your family. They will take your friends. They will take everything away from you to the point where you can no longer survive or think about putting a bullet in your head.
Oh no, we're not worried about that. We're just still discussing. I've read most of them, but
Yeah.
no, we're definitely not worried about that, homie.
It's like it's a civil war. Is that like if you go through TikTok right now or X or any social media, you have like literally like I've seen it on TikTok a lot lately. You have military divided on red versus blue. Completely. You have people calling for somebody to be arrested for showing somebody's DD-214. Then you have the other people like somebody showed his DD-214 already, so you can't arrest him. How did he get it? You need a full investigation on how he got his DD-214 and like you have like both sides and like you're a piece of shit. No, you're a piece of shit. Well, I fought for my country. Well, I fought for my country. You're still a piece of like you have military people fighting each other for fucking presidential nominees.
Right.
You have families fighting each other. Like Tim Walz's family now all of a sudden is not they have shirts that say Walz from Trump. Like you have Trump's family, you know, some of them coming out and saying we don't like it. How dare you? How dare you? You know, you have Trump's family coming out. You have fucking RFK's family. He's a fucking Kennedy. His dad was shot when he was a kid. He had to go to his dad's funeral. And you have his family members like, well, we don't agree with him and everything like that. But he's telling you that this is no longer the fucking Democrat of my Democrat party of my father, and everybody calls it the Kennedy Democrats. Meanwhile, his whole family has turned his back on him because he's like, hey, I don't think this is the way it's supposed to be. I hunted a bear and threw it in Central Park, and I'm gonna get arrested. But that's okay.
Alone. Yes.
By the way, his sister talks the same way, so I guess she had the worm in her brain too.
I was gonna say, yeah, she does. Yeah.
Yeah, his sister's like, we don't endorse what he was talking about. It's just not what. But you have Tulsi Gabbard joining Trump's team. You have Robert RFK joining Trump's team. Two people who are kind of, I think, never Trumpers, also is going towards Trump's side. Like, guys, once again, it's the lesser of two evils.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think
well, and like the main thing about that too is like what I always talk about that I know that it eventually came down to what he said we shouldn't do is George Washington was against the two-party system because he knew eventually it would be coming against the interests of the people in the country.
But then you get situations like they do in Canada, and you have a Trudeau because she had only got 30% of the vote.
Mm-hmm. That's why we definitely don't need a monarchy or anything like that. But but the two, like I mean, I get different party systems and whatever else, but it's like even like and I'm starting to think it's very fucking true that the Libertarian Party or libertarianism is kind of a fucking psyop. And the reason why is because a lot of them stand for really fucking stupid shit. Like open borders. Get fucked with that. You think open borders are good? Like, look what the fuck's happening now with like halfway open border.
Not even halfway open border. Oh shit. Where is it?
Yeah, we need a one-party system.
It should. I mean, it should be like the interest of America.
By the way, this belongs on Meme Kingdom, but anyway, coming soon. I'm sorry, sir. Your card was declined due to your political views. And Elon Musk tweeted, "This actually happened. This has actually happened."
Yes.
Yeah. Do you not remember Laura Loomer? Do you remember people getting their bank accounts taken away because of the way they vote?
Yep.
Yeah. It's just.
Let's hear this. This is actually pretty funny. I like this. Brian Collins, hilarious.
Thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
That's it.
Wow. Wow, she's amazing. That's a hell of an Indian accent.
Yeah, the Canadian truckers. Remember the Canadian truckers?
Yeah. Remember Ian Smith?
Yep. I saw him when he was announced him running for Congress.
Why not? I already know my platform. First rule: pineapple will be banned from pizza.
Shut up, Tweaked. It's actually not that bad.
No,
I actually
Well,
don't mind it.
good.
Speaking of unions,
Hmm.
this is the fucking Teamsters. This is the Teamsters union.
He looks like my uncle.
Your uncle's a fucking Teamster. You're from fucking South Jersey, madam. Of course he's.
I know he is in the union. Like he's like it's in the he is in a union. It does look like him.
What are you
He
saying? They
works
all look
it-
the same.
Like baby.
Yes.
Looks like a thumb.
Speaking of towhead, I keep seeing that picture because I liked it.
When do the Teamsters plan to announce who they are endorsing?
Well, I think historically the Teamsters
turn it
have
up a
always
little bit.
endorsed after both respective conventions.
There you
This is a little different this time under our leadership. We've brought every single candidate to the table in front of our rank and file members and our general executive board, and we're waiting on.
Look who's endorsed Kamala Harris. The National Education Association, the Service Employees
Where's-
International Union, AFSM, what I don't even know what the fuck that is. United Food and Commercial Workers, United Auto Workers. By the way, I know firsthand they don't fucking want her in. I have another video about that. They don't fucking want her in. The workers themselves.
Oh yeah, no, they don't. My buddy Larry is
Mm-mm.
part of Ford, and he fucking hates her.
Yep, I am friends with a lot of people being here, a lot of people who work at Ford, and a lot of people don't fucking want her in. They don't want her in, and they think with their paychecks, and they said that they've made
Yeah.
a lot more money with him, than they have ever made.
Yep.
The United Steelworkers, American Foundation of Teachers, International Brotherhood of Electrical Unions, Laborers International Union of North America. What the fuck is that? Laborers International Union of America? Huh. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Vice President Harris to commit to come meet with us.
And I believe her campaign says they are working with you to figure out a date for that. Her policies are more or less in line with the current president, who you did sit down with when you thought that he was going to be the nominee, when we all thought he was going to be the nominee. Are there any concerns that you have about Harris possibly being less pro-labor, less pro-union than the current president?
So our union is a lot different than most unions. We represent 1.3 million members. Half of our members are Republicans, half of our members are Democrats. So we have to serve all of our membership equally. Look, everybody has a different style of leadership. We want the opportunity to sit down with Vice President Harris. I mean, I said to someone the other day, you don't hire someone unless you give them an interview. And, this is our opportunity to ask her about Teamster specific issues and also labor issues. So until we have that meeting, obviously we will wait to make that determination.
By the way, you know who was represented at Kamala Harris's at the DNC? Oh, the teachers union. The teachers union was represented, and I don't think the teachers union has 1.3 million members. So you're keeping them out. Now, do I have to restart this? Hold on.
Did the Democrats ever tell you why they didn't give you a chance to speak?
No, they didn't. And look, I'm going to say this. Whatever the critics out there, and they're very few in the leadership, whenever I get an opportunity to highlight the American worker, especially the Teamster worker, I'm going to take any and all venue. We asked both conventions respectively at the same time, and the Republican National Convention immediately responded to us, didn't try and edit any of our messages. And I was hopeful that the Democrats would do the same, but they didn't. I'm not upset about it, but I can tell you this, my rank and file members who have been lifelong Democrats are not happy about it.
Yeah, I know there were some members of the union who spoke, but that's not the same as having the leader of the organization speak. Very quickly, did you choose to speak at the Republican convention, which is a pretty unusual move for a union leader, because you feel that Trump has been more pro-labor than past Republican nominees?
No, not at all. I spoke there because it was the ability to highlight how important we are. It was the ability to call out the people, the corporate elitists, who forget who built this country, the American workers. You know, people like to, you know, have their own opinions on why we were there, but I was there to talk about the American workers. It wasn't an endorsement for any and all Republicans. It was strictly a message about how important and how valuable we are, and to let the people know that fight us every day that we're not going away.
And while I disagree with a lot of what the unions do, I do. I disagree with a lot of what they do. They do help. They do help with a lot of things that people want to take advantage of them for. A lot of the shit that they do sometimes, they put in grievances for some nonsense bullshit. And like I said, I had a buddy whose dad worked at a pharmaceutical company, and they had union workers there, and he wasn't allowed to pick up a tissue if it hit the ground because that was one of the janitor's jobs. And if he did it, there was a grievance for that. And it was like, that's stupid. I dropped the tissue on the ground. Nope, can't do it. You got to let the janitors pick it up. Oh, where are the janitors? Oh, they'll be here in 20 minutes. I can't pick up. No, it's a grievance. So yeah, while I
That's
don't
ridiculous.
agree with all of what the union does, yeah, there's a lot of good that the union does, and I think for some reason, people have forgotten what the unions are for. You know, I think that the unions have gotten to the point where they're not obsolete. Okay, don't get me wrong, they're not obsolete, but sometimes they can go above and beyond, like I just said. Like, you can't pick up a tissue off the floor.
Right.
That's a janitor's job.
Well, and I mean, and I get where they try to come from with like try to make more money, get more time off, blah blah, whatever else. But from my perspective and being in the steel industry, I can do more than half of what you assholes get paid more than me. And I don't get, you don't hear me bitching about more fucking money. You know what I do is I work, and that's it.
Well, the thing about it is,
I don't need to sit there and bitch about trying to make more money and try to get more time off and whatever else, because I just work. And my problem with it is that most of you aren't even qualified to get paid half of what the fuck you get paid.
Yep. Yeah. Look at and I'm not, once again, I'm not bashing on union, but look at the construction workers union. Look at all new houses that are made now.
Yeah, I love whenever I pass by road construction and the motherfucker gets paid $32 an hour to hold a fucking slow stop sign. Like,
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And not only that, I saw a guy, a union construction worker that was just sitting down, just like, just sitting there. And it's just like, and I get it. You know, the upper echelons sometimes forget where they came from. And that's why I agree with, if you work in an industry, you should have to work from the bottom up.
Yep.
You should have to start with cleaning the toilets, or like, say if like Disney, all right, because that's the first thing that came to mind. And like Disney, if you want to be the president of Disney, you should have had to have been a Disney character. You should have had to have cleaned the park at one point,
ticket collector,
or ticket collector,
yeah.
And then work your way up to be the president of Disney. So that way, you know what it's like to do every single job. You shouldn't just be a rich person that's just like, oh, he's good at executive stuff. Make him the executive of Disney and have no fucking idea. Then start and then we get whatever this fucking new Star Wars fucking garbage shit that's coming out now. This DEI shit. And it's the new Star Wars has been canceled. No season 2 because first of all, it wasn't made for men, and then it was canceled because of misogyny. What? Yeah, it wasn't made for men. It was made for the LGBTQ and the women.
And that was,
but it was
like,
canceled because of misogyny.
Where they fucked up is whenever they came out with it. This is going to be the gayest Star Wars ever. Every single dude that loves Star Wars was like, "Oh yeah, I'm out."
Yeah. And it was just, it's like, dude, you guys asked for this. You put it out there.
Wish I was in a union. My boss wouldn't be able to keep screwing me in unenjoyable ways.
Listen.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. There's benefits of it. And like, I mean, also, don't get me wrong. There's dudes who are unions that put in their time that really do know how to do some good shit. My problem is with the people that get in there that, like I said, a fucking sign holder making $32. I'm sorry. It's unacceptable. It is.
I know. So Amanda, and I might get this wrong, but from what I've gathered, like, they used to have a test that you have to take to get into. Yeah, you might be right.
She did say that.
She did. Who's going to clean your toilets, Donald Trump?
Yeah.
But babe, correct me if I'm wrong. And I don't know if you're in the trap or you fell asleep. You had to take a test to get in to work at Ford, and you had to go through like a drug screening, and you had to like be put up by somebody who worked at Ford. Like you had to get hey, this person, put this person in, and you would get a job. You'd take the test to see if you were worthy for the job, but then you'd have to work for the job. And now you don't have to do any of that shit. Now you just put in an application. If they need somebody to fill it, you don't even have to take a drug test anymore. And then you wonder why the cars aren't made the way they used to be.
That's a fact, Jack.
Yeah, you wonder why, all of a sudden you have 17 recalls on your car because the paint isn't right.
Right.
And it's like, it's
I agree.
crazy. It's crazy. What do we got here? Let's see.
I see a couple of things put over here. Okay.
Justin, the FBI in Atlanta just said they have known about the 14-year-old school shooter in Georgia who shot up the school today since 2023. Just a reminder that the FBI allows shootings to take place as a way to help the Democrat Party push for gun control.
Knew it.
That tweet's from Laura Loomer.
Yeah. FBI responded early today to an Appalachian high school following reports of an active shooter. Throughout the day, the FBI personnel have been coordinating with and supporting local and law enforcement. The FBI will dedicate all its available resources as requested, blah, blah, blah. In May 2023, the FBI's National Threat Operations Center received several anonymous tips about online threats to commit a school shooting at an unidentified location and time. The online threats contain photographs of guns. Within 24 hours, the FBI determined the online post originated in Georgia, and the FBI's Field Atlanta office referred the information to the Jackson County Sheriff for action. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office located a possible subject, a 13-year-old male, and interviewed him and his father. The father stated he had hunting guns in the house, but the subject did not have unsupervised access to them. The subject denied making the threats online. Jackson County alerted local schools for continued monitoring of the subject. At the time, there was no probable cause for arrest or to take any additional law enforcement action on the local, state, or federal levels. Wow. 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 Amanda says it was an 8-hour test that took 2 damn days, and you had to have a referral, had to be referred to get that far, and the test was mainly BS, and most people passed. But still, you need a referral, and it was an 8-hour test, and now you don't have to do it. But yeah, wow. Once again, we called it. We called it. We knew that it had to be somebody that had an issue already. But once again,
Well, and then here, this is what I'm saying though. It's like you have all these kids, like the Stoneman Douglas shooter. He was known by the FBI. Like all these people are known by the FBI. Okay, well then FBI, why don't you see what is the common denominator? Like, what the it's just
it's once again, the FBI knows these people and they allow them to get through. But once again, it's got to be hard because they guarantee you they get thousands of these things. Thousands of these
Well,
things.
now when you have people trying to monitor mean tweets and shit, of course.
You're right. You're absolutely right. When they have parents, the FBI going after parents for telling the schools that they don't want, boys and girls bathrooms. They bring out the FBI fucking the DOJ, and they charge these parents, but they can't take these kids seriously.
Yeah, they're looking at Catholics and pro-lifers as domestic terrorists. Yeah, of course. It's a bunch of horse shit.
Well, on that note, thank you guys for joining us this week. It was nice to be back.
Welcome to our TED Talk.
Welcome to our TED Talk.
It's nice to be back. Yeah. Don't forget to join the ladies on Mondays and Wednesdays now. You guys are going big time.
Yep.
By the way, the ladies were
Mhm.
featured in a news article. You wanna send that up to me so I can put it out there. Don't play shy. All right. Shy.
I am though.
I know. I
It's
talked to you this afternoon
weird.
about it. You're like, yeah, it's just weird.
I know it is. It's the weird. It's because when I get off of here, like y'all know, I'm not very social on social media. Like I
Oh, no,
leave
not at
here
all.
and I'm like, okay, bye. Like I even have to tweet sometimes, be like, this is me being social, and then that's it. That's it.
Listen, I've tried for years to get Anthony Cumia to retweet me. All of a sudden, Pretty Antisocial gets a fucking retweet. Anthony Cumia, and then fucking Tim Pool. I was like, man, oh man, these girls are just too good. Once again, if you do not, if
You
if
guys
you
going
want
what? 10
somebody
a.m. Central?
10
10 a.m.
a.m. Central, 11 Eastern.
Mondays and
I have
Wednesdays.
to find this.
I'll let me look at the
I got it.
business party.
Here you go.
All right.
I heard
Yeah, I'll
how
grab that.
hard she just hit that. Here you go. It's on the Daily Dot. I will throw
There you
it
go.
in the
So
copy
yeah,
later.
Haley and I we're going over what's going on with the whole Nick Rekieta case and all that. And I tell you, I was telling my parents about this, and it's like this whole story is insane. So yeah, that's the tweet that was featured. So
Which is pretty
that's
awesome.
it.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking.
It's
pretty fucking cool.
weird.
Hey.
It's so weird.
This Nick Rekieta thing has just been once again. I
Bizarre.
along with a lot of other people called that this fucking Aaron Himmel dummy was gonna talk himself into trouble, and he fucking did. He did.
Don't worry, I'm waiting.
everyone.
I'm waiting for me to be in an article one day for calling somebody a retard.
Dude, it is like it's one of those things where just like I get it's for the content, but when you are stupid enough to send your buddy, and I'm gonna say this, I really hate that you guys are fighting with Keanu because I like Gino a lot. I've met Gino, I've hung out with Gino, he's a good dude. And you guys are fighting with Keanu. But
I just don't care.
I know.
And
I know.
She's passive aggressive as fuck, and I just don't care.
Listen,
that's why you're on this podcast. That's what's up.
So you're the best. But yeah, I mean, when you're stupid enough to send your friend another woman's like you're in the middle of this whole thing. You're the bad like you don't realize you're the fucking bad guy in this entire thing.
Okay. What he's trying to say is so there is a relationship between two couples. So they were wife swapping type of thing. One of the husbands left. The other three got arrested like a month later or whatever. And like coke was found and like this whole weird thing is going on. The husband that left sent a nude photo, allegedly. All right, sent a new photo,
You
not
can't
of his
You can't
wife.
say allegedly when he goes, "Hey, I'm going to send you this photo. Check this out."
Hey, check your phone.
Hey, check your
But
phone.
he
Look
sent a
at this.
photo not of his wife, but of the other guy's wife to this dude and said, "Your boy didn't do too bad, did he?" It was gross. And then they find out, so they're like, "Okay, well, we're gonna press charges for revenge porn," and here we are.
Do you not understand? Like, dude, read the fucking room. None of those three have talked to you since. All three of them have excommunicated you from the entire situation. And you think that doing any of this is going to make you look better or not know that, hey, the guy's a fucking lawyer. The guy is a predominant lawyer on YouTube. And his wife, you're sending pictures of his wife. You don't think they're going to come up with something? Here's an idea. Shut the fuck up. You know those two lawyers, those two weed lawyers who are on the internet who are just like, hey, if the cops pull you over, you know what you do? You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. But no, you were stupid enough to go online and on fucking. Is that the video though? Because I gotta play it. I gotta play it because it's just so fucking dumb.
Yeah,
How
that's the
nice
video
was
on the tweet.
Kayla's wreck? She was beautiful. I will say that she was a beautiful.
But the
girl.
tattoo.
I will say that she was a beautiful.
But the tattoo on the right tit. Not a fan of tattoos on the tit.
Oh, the rosebud or whatever that was.
I just saw part of it in the mugshot.
Sure.
What? Come on, not say, please. And I can say this because I'm a supermodel. You know, I can judge other people. I'm just saying, not a fan of the tattoo on the tit. That's all.
I mean, that's that I understand, Gino, and that's.
I'm not
look,
saying like if a hot chick like her had a tattoo on her tit, I'm like, no, yeah. Just saying, what are your thoughts on that? The big old tattoo on the tit.
well, 1 second here.
Oh, here we go. And what is it while you're looking about that? Like Kiana has tattoos, and I don't know if you've noticed this. Nuts about the girl. Love her. Greatest thing ever.
Check.
Keep your. What's that? But there are women I've seen that I've known over a course of time that I thought they were hot, and they had no tattoos, and then they got a shit text. By the way,
did you check?
I like tattoos more than I think.
Your boy didn't do too bad, did he?
That
what a fucking dork. What a fucking dork to do that online. To do it online.
Titty tat, you mean a target for schemes?
Bullseye.
Listen.
I hit the roses.
I don't know either, Jennifer. I don't know either. Yeah, it's but yeah, that guy just got arrested. Well, there was a warrant put out for his arrest last Thursday, and he went to go turn himself in today.
Surrendered.
No, he was going to, but the cops came to his house before he was going to surrender and took him in.
Mind you, this fucking idiot. I'm sorry, Biz. I know we got to wrap up, but mind you, this fucking idiot is about to go back on terrestrial radio and is signing a contract to go back onto regular radio after all of this stuff going on where he was off it and he got fired for something. And he's going back on terrestrial radio, going to sign a contract so he doesn't have to worry about money or nothing like that. And now this fucking idiot who didn't read the room is going to jail, or he's being charged with a bunch of stuff now because he didn't realize that the guy he was probably trying to have sex with, according to Nick Rekieta, well, I don't not according to Nick Rekieta, but Nick Rekieta said he might be homosexual. Anyway, this guy who probably wanted more with Nick Rekieta, allegedly, I have to say that apparently,
My speculations.
is now going to jail because he sent a picture to somebody who's the picture of the wife. The husband's a lawyer, you dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. The husband is going to try to do whatever he can. The husband's in trouble. He's going to do whatever he can to bring everybody else down too. Read the room.
This whole ride has been wild. It's like a telenovela. Like, you don't know which way's up, down. And here's the thing, though. In the whole story, you still don't know who to believe in a lot of stuff and not. And every single thing you hear, you have to take with a huge grain of salt and have some of your own discernment and like look a lot of shit up yourself. Because I sit there with Haley sometimes and I'm like, I feel weird. I don't know what's going on.
Listen, one piece of advice: just be you. That's all I gotta say. Just
Okay.
be you. Be the sniper that you are. That's all I gotta say. Just be the sniper that you are. Because I listen. I don't know. They can do whatever they want. Listen, more power to them. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm me. But just to see some of the stuff that I've seen and heard some of the stuff that I've heard from you guys and seeing some of the clips, it's just like, dude, why? Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You're trying to
Like,
come
he
off as
can't.
this good guy, and I'm sorry you didn't come off as the good guy. You came off as the guy who was trying to hide something. And according to Nick Rekieta, it's his sexuality. Because he said it on Nobody Likes Onions.
Oh,
Which that
God.
was
You took some jabs today. It actually made me laugh. Did I really? I don't even, honestly, it's amnesia after shows. Like, I forget everything that happens. I do. I'm like, okay, anxiety over. I'm done.
Listen, when I was listening to you guys and then I heard, and then I went into to Onions live, and then Nick Rekieta called, and I was like, what? And he was like, I can't talk about a lot, you know, but you know, this is what's going on. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's a drama filled thing that, once again, I don't give a fuck. It's not my life. I don't care. You guys do whatever the fuck you want. That's your life. But once again, sometimes you need to just shut the fuck up and let it just roll. But you know, some
Yes.
people are just trying to collect that money.
Oh, boy.
And
And with that,
he made a lot of people money too.
Venmo, PayPal. No, I'm just kidding.
Super tips. Don't forget about the super
Yeah.
tips. Boo, dude. Well, I'm sorry. One more thing. If Nick Rekieta goes to super tips, I'ma die.
Oh my
I'ma
God, I
die.
know,
That'd be
right?
funny.
I'ma die if Nick Rekieta goes to super tips. That's gonna be great. I hope he does. Because I just want chaos and anarchy. Fuck everybody.
I like
And with
that.
that, well, tomorrow's off label. Friday's Memedom Kingdom. Saturday's Stupids Play. Sunday, Monday, there's nothing going on here. And we'll be back Tuesday with Off Label, Wednesday Business Party, and then Thursday and so on. 7-8 Central for almost everything. What time do you guys do the Stupids Play on Saturday?
6 or 7 o'clock Central Time, depending on what time we kind of want to start at. But yeah, 6 or 7 p.m. Central. Yep.
Yeah. So, yes, follow us. Make sure you're following everybody. And make sure you're following, of course, the show. We've held steady at 40. Oh, is that are we on X also?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, oh, we held steady at on 40, but then I remembered we're on X, so X just does the rolling numbers. But we appreciate
Yeah.
you anyway. It doesn't matter if there's 40 people are here or not. You know, we
And
appreciate
so
every
far,
single one of you.
I've been liking streaming on there. It would be nice to get some people to watch on there also, but that's if you do have X and all that. But mainly, it's maybe we can monetize on there eventually. That's kind of the whole point of doing that. But yeah.
But with that, we love you all and appreciate every single fucking one of you. All right, and we'll see you. What?
Hope you all have a good night, and be sure to say "fuck you" to the government, as we always do. And as things are going, keep your head on a swivel. Stay safe. Don't die out there. Love you all.
Love
Have a
y'all.
good night.